Hey everyone, it's Todd Milewski from the State Journal here at the Kohl Center after a 4-1 Badgers victory against Penn State on December 10th. The Badgers break a 7-game winless skid, get 4 goals for the first time in forever, I don't know, since the Minnesota win, I would imagine, right? Yes. And that was a 3-goal third period that got it done for Wisconsin, and then a Roman Ashan empty net goal at the end to finish it off. It's the kind of victory the Badgers have been waiting to have for a long time. They've felt like they have been deserving of better results, but they haven't produced them. And tonight, there were enough things that went right for the Badgers and enough things that they prevented from going wrong. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but there were times that it could have gone wrong, but it didn't. Jared Moe played well in goal, steered away a lot of rebounds from dangerous areas or smothered them, and which is always a challenge and a necessity when you're playing Penn State and they deliver a lot of pucks to the net. You can't let them spill out and rebounds into good spots for them to capitalize on, and I thought he did well with that, and the Badgers did well in clearing out a lot of pucks when they did get left in front of the net in skates. There were a couple of important moments of the game, but the biggest one to me was the point in the second period. The Badgers are up 1-0, and Roman Ashan collides with Penn State goalie Oscar Audio. Audio sells it, shall we say, and Ashan is there's a delayed penalty on Ashan coming up. But Paul DeNaples, the Penn State captain, has a go at Ashan. They kind of start grappling with each other. That turns into a melee that stops play. Play had been going the other way, and eventually the referees had to stop it. We never heard in the building here what the penalties were initially, but based on what eventually got called, it would have been 2 for goaltender interference and 2 for roughing on Ashan and 2 for roughing on DeNaples, giving Penn State a power play. Tony Granato had a discussion with the referees at the bench. I asked him about this. He heard from upstairs that yes, challenged that. They thought there was a face mask grabbed by DeNaples, which is a 5 in a game, and they did challenge that. The referees went back in, looked at it, and decided yes, that was 5 in a game for DeNaples. So add that in. They played 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and then the Badgers had 3 minutes of power play. And they scored twice on that power play because it was a major. It doesn't end after the first goal is scored. Matty D. St. Paul scored to make it 2-0. First goal in 16 games for him. And then Brock Caulfield scored a minute and a half later to make it 3-0. First goal in 8 for him. So a real slump buster of a power play there for the Badgers. They hadn't scored two goals on a power play all season, and their power play has been better, if that's a thing, when they score 7 goals in 7 games of late, but still not good. And tonight it wasn't good at the start. The first power play was pretty poor, to be honest, for the first unit, and they got it was there had to be reconfigured a little bit, the first group with Ashan in the penalty box, but they got it done, got the St. Paul out there, and he got a nice pass from Baker for a one-timer, and then Baker got a rebound off of Audio's pads and over to Caulfield for a put away there too. All in all, the Badgers would take any victory after going 7 without one, and then really 8, including the exhibition game last week. But I mean, this was, a pretty good victory to have. I mean, not the prettiest thing at times. They played another scoreless first period, but they stayed in the game and they took their opportunities and they made something out of them. So I think that needs to be recognized, that there was this is a season that a lot of things have gone wrong for them, and it's they're in a pretty deep hole. But I think you could see that tonight, through the way they played tonight, they're not throwing in the towel. There is a belief that they're better than their record shows, and they have some time to prove it. A lot of ground to cover, obviously, but if they can get 2 wins against Penn State to close the first half, that's a start anyway. That's what's on the line for them tomorrow. A really big game, because if you win one and lose one, that doesn't do you a whole lot of good in the long run out of this last series of 2021, or of the last Big Ten series of 2021 for the Badgers. But a couple of comments here. Mike says, wish you were there. Wish he was there tonight. Night off for you? Well, good for you. Tanner, great team win. How are the guys plus coaches feeling? They were relieved, I think, is one way of saying it. I asked a couple people, Granato, and we had Tarek Baker and Matty D. St. Paul in here. Asked if there was a weight off, and they said yes. It's there's relief here, but Baker said, we just because we won one game, we can't celebrate like we won the Stanley Cup. And D. St. Paul said that they need to come back with another good effort tomorrow and get 2 wins out of this to feel good going into the break. Tanner says, in my opinion, the Kohl Center was live tonight. It did seem, I mean, there was some buzz in the building tonight. It wasn't a huge crowd again, but announced at 9,000 something, 9369. But there was some energy in there, and when the Badgers get a lead for the first time in more than 6 games, 370 some minutes. What was it? 369-15. Tarek Baker's goal ended a drought of 369-15 in not having a lead, going back to the second period of the first game at Notre Dame last month. So they got rid of that. They got rid of the winless streak. They scored more goals in the third period, or in the second period, or as many goals in that period as they have in any period of the season. It was a night for them to shake off some of the badness, I guess, that has plagued them for a lot of this first half. So goalie tomorrow night, Tanner asks, I wouldn't be surprised if they go back with Jared Moe. I don't know. I think that's they are trying to be careful in keeping Cameron Rowe in this rotation, but we saw a couple weeks ago where they're not afraid to go back-to-back with Jared Moe. Especially, I mean, there's no issue of rest after this or anything like that. It's not like they have a lot to play for. That was one thing that D. St. Paul said, is that they've got 1 game left before break to put everything into and give it their all. So that could be an interesting question, and that's we'll find out tomorrow, I guess. A couple more questions rolling in here. Jeff asked, do you see attendance down around all of college hockey? Yeah, more places, more at some places than others. Minnesota, it's in a similar boat. It's not necessarily the announced attendance that's down. It's the number of people in the building. Well, I guess both. But I think what we see, and when I tweet out at the start of every game of the number of people in the seats at the start of the game is kind of stark. Now it obviously gets better from there. There's still some people coming in, and that's a little bit of a. It's hard to figure out how many people are there at any one time, because there's always some people out in the concourses. But yes, there's I think a attendance, downsizing happening around college hockey and around all sports, really, college sports. And we're seeing it here at other UW sports. Basketball doesn't have as many people in the building as it once did. Football certainly doesn't. So it's not just here. It's not just men's hockey. It's there's increasing demand on people's spending, and so I think a lot of things play into numbers going down. Todd asks, how bad is Lindmark hurt? Bad enough to be out, and he's been struggling really since last season with a lower body injury, and it seems like it just keeps flaring up. And I think they're, with the break coming up, it's probably giving him more time to let it rest, hopefully heal up a little bit more, and then in the second half they could really use him. They need that depth down the middle. They have done pretty well, in face-offs this season, even without him. Tonight actually we're on the short end of face-offs, 29-23, but I think for the season they're still above 500. So that's going to wrap it up tonight here from the Kohl Center. Once again, Wisconsin 4, Penn State 1 is the final. We'll be back after the Saturday night game, which is a 6 o'clock start. Just so you know that, 6 o'clock here at the Kohl Center on Valley Sports Wisconsin, 1310. We'll have live coverage feed on madison.com, and we'll make sure to have everything afterward as well. Make sure you check out the story at madison.com and in Saturday's State Journal. So thanks for joining me. We'll catch you tomorrow night. Have a good night, everyone.